children in primary or secondary school should probably just stop sending them all to English centers. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. Today we are going to be doing a video review on this video here.
And it's very important that I give you my assessment of what to expect in 2024.
But today we're going to do it a little bit different. Instead of watching a video of me commentating over it and give you my 2 cents, I'm going to direct you to the link below. Check out his video in full. It's about 17 minutes. It's about a non-native English teacher talking about how English teaching jobs are being dissolved and his insights on it. I'm going to just use the notes that I took watching his video. I've talked to a few of my friends in the government, talked to some parents that have children in public and private schools, and give you my feedback on what's going on in Vietnam in 2024 and what you can expect in 2025 when it comes to teaching English in Vietnam. Can you still do it? Should you come out here and do it? Or is it over? So the first thing I want to show you is a couple snippet images that I got from his video of comments that he found on Facebook. I don't use Facebook, I refuse. So I had to use his images on that. Again, credit to him. I'm gonna give you some corny music. Check him out. And then the next part, this is something that's been said to me a lot, is, David, they're getting rid of English, but to go to a university in Vietnam, you have to speak English. And this is true, and I'm gonna put over an overlay of what's required to go to a university right now in Vietnam. They all require an IELTS 5.5. This is true as of right now. Education is a business. Universities are a huge business, and their customers are students that go to these schools. Now, if the government starts making this new regulation saying, hey, students, you don't have to do this no more. There's no point. Stop wasting your money. Don't spend thousands of dollars on these centers. Just don't worry about it. The universities are going to bend over eventually. They're going to crack and they're going to be like, okay, we need to make options. So you can see that as of right now, pretty much all university programs in Vietnam require an IELTS 5.5. That's a mandate. I feel that by the second or third quarter, the universities are going to start making small adjustments to the program because they're going to start realizing if all their customers no longer meet the requirements to go to these universities, two things are going to happen. One, the universities are just all going to go bankrupt and they're just not going to be universities no more. Two, the schools are going to start adjusting and allowing both sides because there's still going to be people that take English classes. This will just give them options. This law doesn't take effect until the beginning of 2025. So anybody in high school, grade 12 right now, still can sign up for university under these old laws. This law to get rid of English as a requirement doesn't officially start acting out until the beginning, quarter 1 of 2025. So all of 2024 is still fair game. And all grade 12 students right now are still required to graduate high school passing English as a mandatory test. The next part he kind of goes over is the English being removed. I want to be clear on this. English is not going to be removed from Vietnam. It's just going to become an optional program. That's it. There's nothing else to it. Students can still take it. It's an elective. Now, if you've been in Vietnam for like the last 15 years, you know English centers are a big thing. You have all these massive schools. This is kind of the job that we all do out here. A lot of these centers are starting to adopt other programs, as in like dancing programs, piano, music programs. Now where a lot of English centers will actually offer daycare programs where they'll be like, we'll teach them English on the side, which is kind of what an English center almost is in Vietnam. Now with the public schools, what is being talked about? In America, we only take English like 2 to 4 times out of a 12-year program. Vietnam's thinking about adopting that idea where students will take English like once or twice every 2 or 3 years kind of a thing. So you might start seeing that. So public schools aren't getting rid of English. It's just not gonna be really a big deal. The focus is math and literature. Now, this has been something that's been going on in Phan Thiet, Lazi, Saigon. Dalat's been playing around with it, and Canto's been playing around with this. Sorry if I said those cities wrong. They're creating this online program where students learn English online through this kind of AI automated website where it teaches them English, it quizzes them, it gives them games. It's really just a fun way to learn English, and they're testing it to see what the parents think about it, how the students deal with it. Is the program good? It's still got a lot of issues. You know, Vietnam English is. It's pretty bad. The grammar is usually pretty shatty. Pronunciation is usually pretty horrible. A lot of the parents love it. Unless their kids go in the room and like study for 2 or 3 hours, it's a lot of games and videos, so it keeps them busy, which, because you know, in Vietnam, we don't really want to watch our kids. In regards to the financial status of it, it's being provided for free right now. The rollout is thinking a few $100s like a month or something like that, where it's part of their education fees that they already pay. And a lot of parents love it. Because you got to think, kids that go to these, I almost said a school name, go to these different English centers, they pay thousands of dollars a month. These parents are being told, you no longer have to pay $1,000 a month, you just got to pay like $150, $200. And they're loving the idea. And a lot of these parents have already started saving this money. That's why you're starting to see schools again in Central Fontiette area and Dalat, they're losing a lot of students because of this. The government's taking it serious. The parents are taking it serious. The schools are enforcing it. Now, he talked a little bit about teacher certification issues. This is kind of a weird one. Now, I agree it's stupid. Thailand already does this. And what it is it's a 7-step program for teachers, native and non-native in Thailand. They have to go through this program and it gives them a certification to teach in Thailand. The purpose of this is it weeds out the backpackers. It weeds out the unprofessional teachers. It weeds out the drunks. I get it's a kind of a cool idea. The problem with this program though is it costs $100, $150 per level. There's 7 levels. So if you go up to Thailand to be an English teacher, you're gonna be paying almost $1,000 for the certification to have Thai people teach you how to teach English. Vietnam is they're gonna do the same thing to an extent. I don't know Vietnam's program. Everybody I've talked to knows about this law, but nobody knows what it's gonna entail, if it's gonna be levels like Thailand has, what it's gonna cost. They don't even know who's gonna teach it. Like, are Western people gonna teach each other how to teach English? Are Vietnamese people that have horrible English already going to teach native teachers how to teach a language they don't know how to speak? It just seems weird to me. I mean, Vietnam kind of has this problem where they spend like 12 to 15 years in school to learn a language that they can barely speak. But now they're going to teach native people how to teach the language. And I'm not trying to put Vietnam under the bus. These are things that should be addressed, like directly by education in Vietnam. And you notice this weird pattern. Everybody has a 5.5 IELTS, and I always thought that was weird. But their English levels were never consistent. After starting to work at different English centers in Ho Chi Minh, this is back in 2016, 17, I started realizing that kids weren't actually getting the scores. They were paying for them most of the time. So that's kind of a joke in that respect. Certifications in Vietnam are just kind of a joke. In regards to the teacher ones, it's in the air. We don't know if it's gonna happen. I don't think Vietnam knows how to do it, which is probably a good thing. So I wouldn't worry too much about that. Now, in regards to visas, he talked a lot about visa issues and he's talking about like border runs. Now, I feel he seems like a really cool guy. I'm not insulting him, but he seems like he doesn't understand the visa process in Vietnam to an extent, or like how it's been for so long. Border runs in Vietnam have been notoriously just a thing since like the early 80s. You've always had to do visa runs in Vietnam. The only exception to this were agents back in the day where they would give you a fake business visa for like $300. And you guys probably all remember this. But Hanoi is still having problems with these paper companies, but they're pretty much giving you business permits. Now, I will let you guys know, if you are African, if you are Filipino, they're targeting you. You have to typically go through this nasty paperwork process that takes ages. Vietnam makes it very hard. So an agent will come up to you and be like, hey, for like $500, I'll get you the freaking visa. Let's just call it fair. Don't do this. They're scams. I have to repeat this so many times, guys. Never use agents in Vietnam. Never. Never, 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 never. Never use agents in Vietnam for visas at all. In regards to how you get a visa, Vietnam only has 2 ways to get a visa. E-visa online, do it online. It's $25 for a single entry and it's $50 for multi-entry, and it's 30 or 90 days. Just get the 90-day one. Now, in regards to like VOAs, I've had this question a lot about border runs. Can we do VOAs? VOAs are very hard to do. I know the Hanoi airport will do them for a price, and there was I think she was Swedish, I forgot, and she ended up paying like $300 or $400 at the airport to the officials to do that. Her backup option was just get back on a plane and fly out back home. So you can do it if the official's gonna take money from you, if you know what I mean. That's kind of it. Everything is an e-visa, and this is just the new government law. That's all it is. And then when you do this e-visa, do them online, guys. Seriously, do not use agents. Do them online. It's $25 or $50. It's a simple form. You fill it out, you put in your credit card or debit card number, pay for the visa. Within 3 days, you get an email, maybe 4 days sometimes. That's your visa. When you go into Vietnam, you just go directly to the counter of immigration. They stamp it, you're done. It's that easy. Do not have any agent tell you they can do it faster or better. They are gonna go to this website and fill it out, and they're gonna charge you like $50 or $29.99, whatever it is, don't do it. And if an agent tells you they'll do something for you for $1,000, hang up the phone or walk away. Please, for the love of God, don't. Now, in regards to the other visas, a business visa is something you get from a company. So if you're employed with a company, they're gonna fill out a form. They're gonna have to provide their business license or like registration, as well as your documents, your passport, and then they will get a specialized letter they give to you that you show to immigration, and they give you a business visa. The business visa is 90 days. It can be extended, it's very hard, and it can be expensive. Typically, even the schools, the biggest schools, will go to an agent to do this because the agent knows somebody. In regards to the e-visas though, you cannot extend them. Don't let anybody promise you. I don't care if you're from Africa, America, the UK, they cannot extend e-visas. It is a one-time thing. You have to border run every time. Now, he talked about being stuck. You go to the border, you do a visa run, you can't get back in. This is true. People have talked about being locked out of Vietnam. You know, they go to the border, Cambodia, whatever, and then they come back and the Vietnamese officer's like, hey, you need to stay in Cambodia for like 3 or 4 days. This can happen. They don't legally have to let you come back in. I mean, this isn't your country. This isn't America, you know. You actually have to follow immigration laws. Now, in regards to the business visa, a school cannot apply for a business visa for you until you're out of the country. So if you have an active tourist visa and they try to get a business visa for you, most likely it will be declined until you leave the country. So expect to take a 3 to 5 day vacation when you do get a business visa. Now, he talked about if you're doing these visa runs because you're working illegally and you have to keep doing visa runs, you're worried about losing your job. For one, if you're working in Vietnam on tourist visas, don't expect it to last too much longer. He talks about like the school's gonna replace you or get like a temporary teacher. Remember, like, I like the other teacher better, so screw David. First thing on that, if you have a business visa, if they gave you a business letter, they're not gonna replace you. So don't worry about it. If you are worried about being a bad teacher or them bringing in another one because you're sick one day and they're gonna replace you because of this, guys, I have literally written books on activities, lesson plans. I've written lesson plans for you. I've written books on how you can do them. I've given you cue cards, speaking lesson tests, everything, guys. The only thing I can do more for you is to literally go to your class and teach it for you. So check the link below. Check the link below. Go check out the bookstore. Anything you need, lesson plans, activities, already written, ready to go lesson plans, ready to go activities, everything. It's there for you guys. I get asked all the time hacks and tips on how to teach. I've written them all for you guys. It's there. I got free books in there. I got cheap books in there. I got expensive packages that will literally put you above every teacher out here. It's all there, guys. It's all there. So check that out. That will get you out of that fear of worrying that if you're sick one day and they bring in this random American or UK teacher, you're going to lose your job because that American or UK teacher is better than you. You should never have that fear. You got to be the best of the best. Get good, as we said back in the day. And those books will get you there. So I think that covers everything for today, guys. So I just want to emphasize this because I feel like agents come up a lot. The only time I suggest you use an agent is to get your driver's license for a motorbike and or car. Typically it'll cost you like $100 or $200. I would say pay no more than $100 because the actual license is like $300K. They'll take the test for you. It's all in Vietnamese. They're not like America where they'll translate it into Chinese or Vietnamese for you. It's in Vietnamese or nothing. If you have an international driver's license, don't worry about it. But that is your only time to use it. Check out Homeboy's video below. I'll put a link down there. He's a guy from, I believe, Northern Africa, so you'll get like the non-native version of this, which seriously, I think is pretty good actually. He gives you a lot of what ifs and stuff to think about, which are things you guys should be thinking of. Do not put all your eggs in one basket. Come out to Vietnam, be like, I'm gonna be a teacher out here, and that's all I'm gonna do for the rest of my life. Like it's not flying that way, guys. Like the golden years of 1980 to 2020 are over. Those 40 years were the best times ever in Vietnam. That stuff's gone, man. And it's going away even faster and faster day by day. If you are worried, but you want to be a teacher out here, or if you are a teacher out here already and you're just kind of thinking of the future, check out my videos on teaching in Thailand, teaching in Cambodia. I break it all down. And I got a video coming out, I believe this Friday or Saturday, that's gonna be focus on what to get ready for and how to teach in Laos if you want to go down to that. So I got you covered in every country. I got all these books that will make you the best teacher. Stop wasting time. Stop being worried. You should not be paranoid as an English teacher about getting fired. That's ridiculous. Don't let yourself go into that trap. With that being said, I'm going to get out of here. I will see you again.